Welcome to the demo of our Creative Expression Workshop, which is part of the Self-Guided Toolkits by Confetti. So before we dive into this really fun workshop, so I can show you how it works, I always like to point out the Facilitator Hub, which I recommend any facilitators check out before any of the workshops that you plan to do with your team, just to familiarize yourself with the topic. There's some really great items within these hubs, like highlights, objectives, tips, communications that you can use as, for example, an invitation for your team, some fun icebreaker, Slack teams, conversation starters for the team to get them excited for the workshop, as well as some follow-up templates if you need, and then always some great resources for further learning on whatever the subject is that's being covered in the workshop. So books, articles, TED Talks, all that kind of stuff is all here in your Facilitator Hub, which is accessible from most of the workshops when you see the key icon. Once you're ready to start a session, you'll come to a main page that says Start Session. I've already started one so that I can show some of the ways that it works. Once you start the session, you'll share the join link with your participants, and they will join and enter how they'd like to be referred to during the workshop. You can see we have two participants here for the demo, Janine and Todd, who've already logged in. And then you'll manage everything from your dashboard here. So a couple of great activities today: a greeting exchange, postcards from home, a cultural story quilt, and a reflection poem. And each of these exercises are really building on one another so that the psychological safety that your team feels throughout the workshop is built layer by layer, and makes everyone feel comfortable and want to participate. So I'll show you the greeting exchange first. So these are some of the greetings that were entered by our participants, but to show you what it looks like on the participant side, they will see this screen here. The prompt is to share a greeting, whether it's a word, a phrase, a gesture, a song, a dance, whatever it is that people use with their family or community or from their culture. The participants will enter that and hit submit, and then you will see the exchanges here, and then you can call on team members and see if anyone wants to give more of a explanation to what they entered. So again, great conversation starter. The postcards from home exercise is an opportunity for the participants to upload a photo and share what the place means to them, or their favorite spot, or the landmark that reminds them of home. And then also put in a caption to explain it if they'd like, or they can leave that blank. And again, you can have a conversation as all the photos populate, just to learn a little bit more about the team in general. The cultural story quilt is a quite silly and fun one. I'll show you what it looks like on the participant side. So this is an opportunity for them to draw on a blank canvas, either using actual drawing tools, or they can use shapes, add emojis, add text, whatever they'd like to build their square within the quilt to look like, they can. You can write what your title represents and then submit your tile, and you will see it here on the Facilitator Hub, and all of the participants' tiles will populate and everyone can see them. And again, conversation starters, people can raise their hand, unmute, and really talk about why they drew or entered what they did. Then last but not least is a reflection poem, where the team will be prompted to share a word that captures their biggest takeaway from all the learnings that they had during the session about their team members. And then once they are entered, spelling today. Once they're entered, then you can generate a poem with AI to see what it comes up with. So again, just an opportunity for learning a little bit more about all your team members. So not a real learning heavy workshop, but one that should absolutely get your team connected and learn a little bit more about each other.